Mr. Nobuo Kishi, Minister of Defense, General Koji Yamazaki, Chief of Staff, Joint Staff, His Excellency Mr. Singthong Lapisekpan, Ambassador Extraordinary and Plenipotentiary of the Kingdom of Thailand, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the Office of Defense Attaché, Royal Thai Embassy in Tokyo, it is my privilege to welcome you to the virtual commemoration of the Royal Thai Armed Forces Day on the 18th of January every year. For the past 2 years, we have expressed our efforts to live with the new normal way of life under the impact from the COVID-19. We have also shown our discipline to strictly abide by the laws and regulations to guarantee the public safety. It is the fundamental responsibility that all of us who are currently living in Japan are willing to fulfill. Unfortunately, the current pandemic situation does not allow many activities to persist as planned. Therefore, the annual reception that had traditionally been organized to commemorate the Royal Thai Armed Forces Day had to be cancelled this year. However, to cherish the tradition, the Office of Defense Attaché has arranged a virtual commemoration using the internet that shows the multimedia and remarks from Thai Ambassador and Japan's Minister of Defense. Your visit to the online virtual commemoration would give us a great honor. Hopefully, if the situation allows, the reception for the Royal Thai Armed Forces Day next year will be held as previously practiced, and I look forward to meeting all of you in that event. Arigatou gozaimasu.
The Royal Thai Armed Forces was established with the Thai nation. Thai kings had valiantly led the armed forces to battles. Our ancestors had sacrificed their blood and lives to safeguard the land for sovereignty of the nation. Throughout the years, the Royal Thai Armed Forces, which comprises of the Royal Thai Armed Forces Headquarters, Royal Thai Army, Royal Thai Navy, and Royal Thai Air Force, has continued to serve its missions with utmost ability. Of all these tasks, the mission of safeguarding and upholding the monarchy institution is of great importance for the Royal Thai Armed Forces by providing Royal Guard duties and disseminating the benevolence and wisdom of His Majesty the King through organization of activities and events at every opportunity. In addition, the Armed Forces has adopted as work guidance the Royal Coronation Utterance of His Majesty King Pratwatiragklao Chao Yu Hua of to continue, preserve and build the royal legacy, whereby strengthening good quality of life and instilling the spirit of sacrifice for the majority in the Thai people in every way. The Armed Forces also supports the Jit Asa volunteer program under the royal guidance of doing good with heart, emphasizing on creating participatory action from every sector of the society. On national defense, the Royal Thai Armed Forces has deployed border task forces to operate in integrated manner with the Border Patrol Police to safeguard the sovereignty of the state on land, sea and air, to maintain peace and create the atmosphere of joint development with our neighbors. These help contribute to the reduction of crimes along border areas, which are beneficial to creating suitable setting for the economy and development of the livelihood of the people in the areas, leading to long-term security benefit for the country. Moreover, the Royal Thai Armed Forces continually maintains its readiness through exercises and training from unit training level, joint exercises, to combined exercises with allied nations, to prepare for confrontation with any form of threat effectively. On maintenance of national security, the Royal Thai Armed Forces has supported various national issues in response to the government's policy of promoting peace, reconciliation, and safety of the people. Examples can be found in prevention and solving of narcotics issue, interception of illegal laborers, tackling of human trafficking, illegal logging, counterterrorism, and on solving of southern border provinces issues, to name but a few. The Armed Forces has also been instrumental in establishing an emergency operations center on security by integrating all security-related government agencies to support the government in tackling the COVID-19 pandemic. Such cooperation has proven effective for Thailand to control the situation. Concerning national development and humanitarian assistance, the Royal Thai Armed Forces places emphasis on improvement of quality of life and economy of remote areas in conjunction with conservation of environment. Various projects have been established, including construction of transportation routes to facilitate travel and shipment of goods for the people, water source development and projects to support the government in sustainable water management, promotion of occupations, agriculture and cooperatives, development of communities and utilities, and medical and healthcare services. Furthermore, on prevention and disaster relief effort, the Royal Thai Armed Forces has organized personnel, tools, and equipment to provide early warning and protection, assist disaster victims at early stage of situation through when it returns to normal. It also continually prepares its readiness with regular training with concerned agencies, both domestic and international, to enhance the interoperability in joint relief operations. In addition, it also supports solving of other national issues and in correspondence with the government policy, such as the tackling of particulate matter or PM air quality situation, forest fire and haze crises, soil resources development, vetiver grass cultivation to conserve soil and water, promotion of campaign of planting cash value trees, systematic waste management, and so forth. Furthermore, the Armed Forces produces mapping database to support the government in solving various national issues such as state land boundary demarcation, provision of information to support disaster management, and to use essential data in helping in national development encompassing economic, social, and security aspects, as well as to help drive the country in line with its Thailand 4.0 policy. The promotion of Thailand's role in the global arena is also another important mission of the Royal Thai Armed Forces through mechanisms of promotion of security cooperation with allied nations, such as in arranging exchange visits, education training, and meetings under various cooperation frameworks of bilateral and multilateral levels. Moreover, the Royal Thai Armed Forces has been active participant in peace operations and humanitarian assistance under the aegis of international organizations, which to date amount to 22 missions, with the most recent deployment of an engineer company to United Nations mission in South Sudan, or UNMISS, currently in its second rotation. Every mission that the Royal Thai Armed Forces participated in has received praise and appreciation, thus helping promote the roles of Thailand on the global stage. Concerning humanitarian mine action, Thailand is committed as a ratified signatory of the Convention on the Prohibition of the Use, Stockpiling, Production and Transfer of Anti-Personnel Mines and on their destruction. A 5-year action plan has been implemented to include surveying and clearing mine-ridden areas to be free of landmines, in order to declare them safe for the people to return and make use of the land. Today, 20 provinces can be declared as mine-free, and 7 other provinces are in the process of being cleared. With present rapid evolution of security environment and threats, The Royal Thai Armed Forces has therefore stipulated a strategy on development of the armed forces in line with the government's 20-year national strategy, emphasizing on making the armed forces modern with adequate mobility and flexibility to cover a broad range of missions. This development also includes enhancement of skills of personnel to increase the efficiency of military operations, development of own military equipment, technology and command and control system through research and development based on self-reliant principle, as well as developing networks of cooperation at both domestic and international levels to enhance interoperability, bringing about peace and stability in the region. The Royal Thai Armed Forces, together with its men and women, stand ready to defend our nation, religion, monarchy and people, as well as the democratic administration under the monarchy institution, to promote the strength and security of the nation for years to come.
On the occasion of the Royal Thai Armed Forces Day on 18th of January, as the Ambassador of Thailand to Japan, I have the honor to invite you to join us in commemorating this important day. Thai military forces have been a significant part of national security and defense. Until today, even though there are not conflicts that require combat operations, men and women serving in the Royal Thai Armed Forces still fulfill their duties in contributing to the happiness and well-being of Thai people. Under the normal situation, there would be a gathering with cultural activities to celebrate this event. Unfortunately, the pandemic has caused adverse impact worldwide and made it impossible for us to proceed with any on-site arrangement for the commemoration. This allows me to provide you with information about the defense cooperation between Japan Self-Defense Forces and Royal Thai Armed Forces. Japan and Thailand have enjoyed close partnership for many years. Our nations have shared common interests and close cooperation in many fields. Military cooperation is one good example of the successful cooperation that has resulted in the stronger bond of friendship between our two countries. We share a special strategic partnership. We share basic values and strategic interests as one of three pillars of the free and open Indo-Pacific vision. Over the past decade, we have been conducting exercises and joint training with one another on an ever-expanding scale. In numerous areas, the Royal Thai Armed Forces are actively involved in maintaining peace, security, and stability. Since 1950, missions such as UN peacekeeping deployments in the Korean War have been critical. Hence, 21,000 soldiers and police were dispatched to 20 countries, including Iraq, Kuwait, Cambodia, East Timor, India, Pakistan, and South Sudan to serve in peacekeeping missions. Aside from executing the mission, the Thai military also assisted persons infected with COVID-19 and provided agricultural expertise by adopting the late King Rama IX's sufficiency economy philosophy. Education is another area of cooperation between Japan's Self-Defense Forces and the Royal Thai Armed Forces. The Japanese National Defense Academy, the Staff College, and the National Institute of Defense Studies are the major institutes that help produce the top quality officers for the Royal Thai Armed Forces. Graduates from these prestigious institutes have become role models for other Thai officers through their outstanding academic achievement, responsibility, and discipline. The Royal Thai Armed Forces reciprocate such educational support by granting quotas for Japanese officers to attend the Royal Thai Army Command and General Staff College and the National Institute for Defense Studies. At the Ministry of Defense level, in November 2019, we have signed a Memorandum of Understanding on Military Cooperation as a framework to strengthen bilateral cooperation and military exchanges such as capacity building, exchange of information, research and study, military technology, logistics, joint training, peacekeeping and humanitarian assistance, and disaster relief. At the Armed Forces level, the Army-to-Army talks, Navy-to-Navy talks, and Air Working Group have been conducted. There are also several senior executive visits to strengthen relations between the Ministers of Defense as well as Armed Forces leaders of both countries. In addition, the Defense Industry section of the Defense Technology Institute is exploring possible collaboration with Japan's Acquisition Technology and Logistics Agency. Those are only a few examples of the achievements of which the benefits are not limited only to the Japan Self-Defense Forces and the Royal Thai Armed Forces, but also benefit Japan and Thailand as a whole. Such long-lasting partnership has laid a solid foundation for both countries to cherish and prosper in the future. Let us celebrate the Royal Thai Armed Forces Day. Thank you so much. ขอบคุณครับ
新党大使ナルト国防部官ご視聴の皆様、1月18日のタイ王国軍記念日に際し心よりお祝い申し上げます。本年両国は外交関係の樹立から135年の節目を迎えました。新型コロナウイルス感染症の影響で対面の交流は未だ難しい状況ですが、両国間の防衛協力交流は着実に進んでいます。例えば自衛隊はタイで開催される多国間共同訓練コブラゴールド2005年から継続的に参加し、タイ国軍とともに3カ国との連携を強化しています。また両国間の教育交流は長い歴史を有しています。1958年防衛大学校が初めて受け入れた外国人留学生はタイ留学生でした。以来連綿と続く留学生の受け入れは両国間の良好な関係を支えるかけがえのない財産となっています。長年にわたり優秀な人材を日本に派遣していただいていることに対し、ここの場をお借りして改めて御礼を申し上げます。タイは2021年から2024年まで ASEAN の対日調整国を務めます。今後帰国との緊密な関係を基盤とし、日 ASEAN 防衛協力も大きく発展することを期待しています。最後に両国の一層の発展と皆様のご健勝を記念して私の挨拶とさせていただきます。ご分化
ครับ